back to Little Maple English. I'm your teacher, Joanne. And for today's lesson, we're going to learn about a parts of speech. So, what is a parts of speech? So, the parts of speech describe the rules words play in sentences with 8 main categories. So, 1, nouns, 2, pronouns, 3, adjectives, 4, verbs, 5, adverbs, 6, prepositions, 7, conjunctions, and 8, interjections. So most English words fit into one of these categories. Some can function as different parts of speech depending on context, such as work or well. These parts of speech are further divided into open classes, which regularly gain new words, and closed classes, which do not. Understanding how parts of speech work together is essential for clear communication, effective writing, and learning other languages. So let's move on by talking about noun. Noun is very, very important part of English language. Noun describes a person, place, or thing, or idea. What are people? Like teacher, police officers, firefighters, they're all part of people, right? So it is a noun. It's a noun word. So let's take a look at place, city, school, shopping mall. Those are all part of places. Thing, a book, pencil, pen, eraser, camera, microphone, bag, purse. All these words are part of thing. So it is a noun. Idea, it's something that you might not be able to see, but it's an idea, it's a thought. Second, what is a verb? Verb shows an action or a state of being. There are different types of verb. We will learn in more detail later in our lessons. But verb can be divided into tenses, which is past, present, and future. Let me give you an example of a past sentence. James ran to school. It means that James already ran to school, gone, might be at school. Brittany was in her room. She was in her room, so we don't know whether she's in her room now. Now, let's talk about present. So present can also describe what's happening now, or a habit, or something that does not change. Let me give you an example of a present. James runs to school. Brittany is in her room. It means that James runs to school, maybe every day. So something that can be very repetitive can be used in a present sentence. So Brittany is in her room. It means that she is currently in her room. So let me give you an example of a future sentence. Future means something that might happen later. So we aren't really sure it's really going to happen or not. Maybe we can describe something that's close or far future. So let me give you an example of a future sentence. So let's look at the first sentence here. James will run to school. We just assume that James might run to school. Brittany will be in her room. We don't know whether she is really in her room, but we can kind of predict that she might be in her room. All right. So let's move on to adjective. So what is an adjective? Adjective describes or modifies a noun. So for you to have more abundant sentence to describe a noun, it could be a color, it could be an emotion, it could be shape. There are different types of adjective. So let me give you an example of adjective words. Happy, blue, tall, interesting. So these are the type of adjective words that you could find, which modifies a noun. Next is an adverb. Adverb modifies a verb, adjective, or another adverb. Often shows how, when, or where. For example, quickly, very, well, and yesterday. Next is a pronoun. So what is a pronoun? Pronoun replaces a noun to avoid repetition. For example, he, she, they, who. So guys, now you know how important noun is. Now you see how noun is very important part of our sentences. All right, let's move on. What is preposition? Preposition shows the relationship between a noun and another word in the sentence. For example, in, on, under, and between. Conjunction connects words, phrases, or clauses, such as and, but, and because. And lastly, interjection expresses emotion or reaction, such as wow, oh, hey, ouch. We will get in more detail with 8 parts of speech later in our lesson. So stay tuned. Class is dismissed, and I'll see you again. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye-bye.